Okay, I have the time, it's now 2 p.m. I'd like to call the Monday, December 8th, 2025 Bossier City-Parish Metropolitan Planning Commission meeting to order. Our invocation will be done by Jeff Thigpen and our Pledge of Allegiance by Chris Turner. Please rise.
If you would, pray with me. Dear Lord, thank you for this body of citizens that come to do work in this city and parish, Lord. Just thank you for the first responders in Bossier City and Bossier Parish. We thank you for all that they do for this city, Lord, and we just ask that you would watch over them. We pray for our military, strong presence here in this, that you would be with them and guide them, Lord. And we just ask that you watch over us in this board and guide us to make decisions that would honor you. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
Amen. Please face the flag and put your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madison, can we have our roll call and our decorum speech?
James Fine.
Here.
Dave Haddon.
Here, ma'am.
Donnie McDaniel.
Here.
Art Schultz.
Here.
Jeff Thigpen.
Here.
Chris Turner.
Here.
Michelle Wallace.
Here.
We have a quorum. In accordance with Louisiana open meetings laws, the Bossier City-Parish MPC asks for order and decorum at our meetings. Please silence your cell phones. For anyone who wishes to address the commission on any item on the agenda, we ask that you come forward, identify yourself for the audio record, and sign in. Speakers must address the MPC board at all times. For those that would like to make comments on an item, please limit your comments to 3 minutes on the particular item that is up for discussion. All other audience members are asked to observe the meeting quietly. If there is a need for audience members to hold a conversation or take a phone call, you are asked to please step out of the meeting.
Thank you, Madison. I need to request a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Madam Chairman, if I may, case P-Plat 000-187-2025 will need to be tabled until the January 15th meeting. They are having to completely redraft the plat.
Okay, all right. Can I have
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agenda as written with the exception of item number 6, P-Plat 187-2025. That item should be moved to a future meeting.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Madison, do you mind reading the first item on our agenda?
CPLAT 145-2025, the application of Philip Coach Forte and Tablada for William Sale, requesting a minor plat, Harrison Business Park Number 7, being 0.784 acres more or less, located at 4704 Viking Drive, Bossier City, Louisiana, City Council District 5, Police Jury District 7.
All right. Do we have anybody here to present? Okay. If you'll just state your name, address, and sign in.
Yes, my name is Philip Koch, 166 Ramses Lane, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Thank you.
I'm William Sale, 900 Piermont, Shreveport.
Will y'all just tell me a little bit about your case, what you guys are requesting?
Okay. Yeah, my client, Bill Sale, owns a property on Viking Drive. It's about 0.7 acres, and he's requesting that it be split into 2 plats for the purpose of selling one.
Okay.
Are those particular buildings leased at the present?
One building is leased and one is not.
building that's leased, they want to purchase, or they want your purchaser, or?
No, the purchaser is not the tenant.
Okay.
It's someone else.
Oh, okay, and he would continue the lease, I guess, with who's in there, but I mean,
Right,
that's
right.
insignificant.
Bill, on the other properties, along Viking Drive, to the east, where there are common driveways for multiple buildings, the driveway access is clearly delineated, as is the parking. When we're looking at the aerial photo of this property, it's hard to figure out how you're gonna have, that main driveway access, any required parking. I think there's a truck ramp on one side.
Right.
Is that for a semi or how,
No, it's just a,
And how does all that work? So if I own one side of that,
well, we'll have a common access agreement that my attorney has drawn up that we'll sign when it's split, or if we wind up with two buyers. But I guess I would answer your question by saying that it's been there for 21 years, and I've owned it for 21 years, and I've never had anybody complain about anything, and I've never had a problem keeping it leased.
right. But that would be with a single owner. So I mean, if you have two separate
Single
owners.
Single owner, but two different people in the building, different tenants that were in the building. But we were never called upon to referee any arguments or any problems.
Really?
Maybe they
Okay.
just worked it out themselves, but if they did, I didn't hear about it.
I mean, is it like set up like a condominium regime where all of that common pavement do the buildings are owned separately, but all of the concrete pavement is dual owned or common area? Or?
At the present time, my partner and I own all of it. And what I hope to do, just to facilitate the sale of the buildings, is to split it up into two totally separate lots. And where each would have their own, but subject to a perpetual access agreement. And pretty well
So the
stated.
driveway entrance there at Viking, that would be common entrance.
Yes.
Then from there, there's a property line down the middle between the two
Well,
buildings?
yes, on the new plat, there will be.
Okay, so I'm still trying to wrap my head around who owns what part of the pavement.
Well, the person who would own the building to the east
Okay.
would own the
Would
east
own
part
half
of
of
it.
it and the other person
Yes,
would own the other
virtually
half.
half, it's a half and half deal. Do you have a copy of the plat?
Yeah, and there,
Yeah, but it
the
doesn't
line
show
down
the,
the
doesn't
middle
show
is
anything
basically
about
the
parking.
property line, is
Yeah.
it not?
It's
Yeah.
not showing the
So
buildings.
the building, I'd say to your right and building to the left, it doesn't really matter. Where the property line is, they'll own everything on their property, and the other guy owns everything on his property.
That's correct.
And the driveway is the driveway.
That's correct. And once again, it's a common access agreement.
And you'll have that legally put on the deed, I guess, on each,
Yeah, yeah,
each plat and on the survey
I'll
plat
sign
and
it. It'll be
everything?
filed in the public record, and everything will be subject to that agreement.
And that'll be done prior to sale or during the sale, or when is?
It would be
what's-
done as soon as possible.
Okay,
I mean, but yeah, prior to any sale. I don't have
right,
a
I
sale,
got you.
but
So prior to the sale, you're gonna
Yeah,
go ahead and
when
have
they-
that
yeah,
legally defined on each property?
They'll know what they're buying.
Gotcha. I have no-
On
I
the
have no
survey, it
other
does it does notate that no additional access points will be allowed on the survey.
Mr. Sell, back, I guess a couple months ago, you met the Board of Adjustments, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And in that, some of that paperwork, I think it was a declaration of servitude. One of the paragraphs in there said that in the future, owners of the properties can dissolve that agreement regarding the dual access to the driveway. Do you recall reading that?
I do not recall that, no.
Okay. It is in, I think, I have shared that with the board. I'm concerned about that paragraph being in there, and we have our attorney here. I may call upon you here in just a second. I'm concerned about signing a declaration of servitude that tells future owners you can dissolve this servitude if you would like. When the city has already told, the city engineer is already saying, this driveway is in shared access in perpetuity. So the city is already saying, you must share this.
Right.
But you have an agreement that says you can do away with that.
Again, forgive me, but I don't recall that. I
Okay.
glanced over, my attorney is David Cromwell,
Okay.
who probably a lot of you know, and he has been around a long time, and pretty well, he's J.P. Morgan's outside attorney for the state of Louisiana, and handles, anyway, he's,
Do we have that?
It's not gonna be in this case analysis, but I can read it for the record if you would like.
If you,
They do have it. Oh, she got it.
can you read that for me, Carlotta?
Let's see.
Rather than that, just Neil go ahead and can read
So
it.
you scroll down.
I think it's on the second page.
There we go, right there. Okay. so
Servitudes may
it's-
be revoked.
Yeah, these servitudes may be revoked, terminated, or modified at any time by consent of the owners of the lots, provided, however, that if the mortgage then exists upon either lot, the revocation, termination, or modification shall not be effective unless the mortgagee agrees in writing to it.
So. Yeah, I'm just concerned.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
I feel,
just a red flag.
It's not, it won't be
I feel
difficult.
better about that now. I just didn't want to cause future
Well,
problems for
no,
owners.
again, I never, honestly
I-
never saw it,
Okay, I got,
but it'll go away.
But I
okay.
do see on the survey that you've notated that a shared access agreement, perpetuity, no additional access points like it is on the survey, which I think is great.
Yeah. Okay.
Survey's correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, survey,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in our discussion, I mean, I don't know that we were trying to get right in the middle of that, but we were also just trying to protect the buyers, where they wouldn't be kind of led to believe that they could step out of that at some point, because there's already been a decision made that there would not be another entrance.
Right.
But,
I
so, yes, sir.
completely agree.
That
with
was,
you.
but that was the kind of the basis for our original discussion before we came in here.
And I guess one more question regarding the ramp. If a truck has to back up into that ramp, how do they do that? There's not a lot of room for an 18-wheeler to be on that property.
I don't know, I've seen them do it, but like I said, that we did this,
Okay.
it's been in use for 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
That may not be the best answer, but
yeah.
it's the only one I have.
It's an honest
But I
answer.
just didn't want, if it creates a problem for one of the lots having an 18-wheeler back up on the other one's property, it's kind
I
of
believe
tight.
that agreement would address that, would it not?
Yes, sir.
I would think so, Art. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to back in off of Viking. You can't come in and, there's no room to come in and
Yeah,
turn
no,
around.
yeah, so they wouldn't be on the front of lot,
No,
one of the lots, okay.
no, he'd have to back in from Viking.
I have no further questions.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. No other questions from the board? Okay. I'll open it up to public discussion. Okay. Doesn't look like we have any public discussion. Can I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we accept C, plat 145-2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone like to abstain?
Thank you.
Thanks,
Motion
Bill.
carries.
Good luck.
Madison, the next item on our agenda.
P-ZON-17. That's my comment.
Tanner Hines with Rayleigh and Associates, 4913 Shed Road, here on behalf of Chad Burgess.
If you can give us 1 second.
We gotta read it for the record.
Sorry about me.
No, you're good.
get something on the computer.
She's trying to get it back to number 3.
All right, ladies, are you able to go ahead and read both items?
P-ZON-179-2025, the application of Tanner Hines, Rayleigh and Associates for Chad Burgess, BMT Investments LLC, requesting a zoning amendment for a certain tract of land being 0.510 acres, more or less from R-A, residential agriculture, to B-3, general business for a self-service ice making and vending machine, east on Airline Drive, west of Cypress Self-Storage, Bossier Parish, Louisiana Police Jury District 5. P-PUD-183-2025, the application of Tanner Hines, Rayleigh and Associates for Chad Burgess, BMT Investments, requesting a planned unit development being 0.510 acres, more or less, for proposed self-service ice making and vending machine, east on Airline Drive, west of Cypress Self-Storage, Bossier Parish, Louisiana Police Jury District 5.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that, Tanner. You want to tell us a little bit about what you've got going on?
Yeah, so we're just putting in an ice machine off of Airline Drive and right in front of the storage area, whatever. And we're gonna have a little bit of a driveway so that way they can drive in, pick up ice, drive out, be done.
Yeah, I like the way you're doing that. That's good. Is there any particular reason for questioning waiver and landscaping requirements? And I understand you don't want to block the view of anything from Airline, but it could go anywhere on that property in that little
Well,
semicircle. or-
If
State
we
your
are,
name, please, sir.
Ryan Estes, Rayleigh and Associates, 4913 Shed Road. What are y'all proposing? I'm putting in or Mr. Burgess is putting in a 10-foot wide ice machine, and we're gonna landscape 162 foot across the frontage. I'm not trying to put landscaping in. If it's a requirement, then of course we'll do it. We do have 2 large trees on the site that we're not removing. I don't know what the calipers are, but I know one of them is probably 18-inch diameter, which may count for, and the other one may be 12-inch diameter, which may count, they're visible on the site, which may count for the trees.
Ron, when we were looking at this earlier, you have your little half-circle drive.
Yes, sir.
You see that spot in the front up there?
I'm gonna make a great
Why
flower
can't you
bed.
do something right there?
I can.
Okay, I think that's one of the suggestions
What
we
would-
would
what
have.
would y'all
And I'm
like?
not- Well, we want fountains and lights and nothing.
Well, you know.
Well, I just think, I
well-
think, I'm sorry, I didn't want to overspeak.
No,
you.
but it's whatever the requirements are, Ryan. You have a couple of trees there, and there's some exceptions that can be made there. But if I didn't make exceptions for your neighbor, the Circle K, and I didn't make exceptions for the coastal, then I'm
I
not gonna make
understand.
an exception here.
I understand.
I think there's some, go on, Dave.
Yeah, but you do have some trees on there, so we can reduce that.
We can, just depending on the location, but I don't think the ask was to landscape the entire frontage. It was just the location where the ice machine is going to be, which is that south portion of that driveway.
South half of the
Yes.
property.
Yes.
We'll meet the landscape ordinance.
Yeah.
It appears to be about,
27 shrubs and 3 trees is what I'm looking at.
But it
Roughly.
may not be that much, considering that Ryan says that there's already a
Yes.
couple of
what,
trees.
are you gonna allow that to, because it is back there, it's existing, I believe it's
Is it on the lot?
it's on the lot.
Oh,
If it's in
okay.
the back of the lot, that's not gonna count. It
Yeah.
needs to be up where the required landscaping buffer is. If it's in that area, we can account for it. But if it's back behind the storage buildings, I can't use that.
It's right behind where our proposed ice machine is.
Okay.
And it's
And the-
between the road and the storage buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have to physically go out and look to see where it is in relation to the required landscaping buffer. If it's not within a close proximity, I may or may not be able to use it. So we can work on that with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, we don't want to hide your
Yes.
No, that's not the intent.
facility. Understand that.
And we can cluster them together.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think we're good.
I think get with staff on that, Ryan, and y'all can be a little bit creative.
Sure.
You know, I don't know that 27 bushes is the answer.
That's what I was like, we're gonna put 27 bushes
Yeah, I
around,
mean, you got a little small,
a little 10-foot wide, as big
Yeah,
as this
10
desk,
10 by 10 building.
putting up 4 trees and
so I think-
27 bushes.
I think if you'll work with staff
Yeah,
and use that area in the front,
gotcha.
You're good.
I think we can do something that looks
Perfect.
real nice.
How about that fountain?
Yeah.
I'm sure Chad would love that.
Okay. Now, we have two items, but the first one is
Yeah.
for zoning, right?
First one's for zoning,
zoning.
second one's for the PUD.
Okay,
Yeah.
so before we get into that, so I don't have any questions on
Anybody
either
else?
case.
Yes, I'm good on both
Okay.
cases.
I'll open it up for public discussion. Okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve the first one, P-Zone 179-2025.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone want to abstain?
And I'll also make a motion to approve P-PUD 183-2025.
Nothing needs to be said about this.
Yes, we need to include that they will
Yeah,
meet the landscaping requirements.
Yeah, we will need to, we're not waiving the landscape requirements, but we will allow the applicant to work with staff on location of required landscaping.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Who made the second? I'm sorry.
Chris,
Thank you.
did yours come up for a
No, I
vote?
did.
It's
There it
now.
is.
Who won? I did.
Motions carry.
Thanks, Tanner.
Thank you.
Madison, number 5.
C-PLAT-188-2025, the application of Aiden Metcalf Coil Engineering for Walt Bigby requesting a preliminary plat WOB subdivision being 2.327 acres more or less, Bossier City, Louisiana, located immediately south of Zaxby's on Benton Road and East Texas Street. City Council District 2, Police Street, District 9.
Charlie Coyle with Coyle Engineering, 3925 Benton Road. Answer any questions that you may have.
No questions.
There were just some comments from Jim Oye, traffic engineer, needed to see the order box pickup window and circulation. I don't know, Carlotta, if that was addressed.
You know if that was addressed?
I think the engineer for the project, who's not us, was supposed to be getting that to Jim.
Okay.
And we will confirm at the permitting stage as well.
Well, I think chicken and donuts go good together. I've got no questions.
No questions.
No one else? Okay, I'll open it up to public comment. Okay,
I'll move for approval of C plat 188-2025.
I need to make the motion on this one. I motion that we approve it.
Okay.
You
A
gonna,
retired cop and a
you're
big
gonna
donut
second?
shop.
I'll let you do that, that's fine. I'll second it.
Just one question. Charlie, do you have any answer about the donation of the property for the bus stop?
I would let the owners speak to that.
Did you want Walt, did you want Mr. Bigby to come forward?
Yes, please.
Hey, Walt, could you come forward just for a moment?
Walt Bigby, 201 Bridgepoint Circle, Bossier City, Louisiana.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so there is an existing bus stop right now in that property, and We're trying to improve all the bus stops in Bossier City, also walkability in the cities for everybody. So we were proposing if you could donate some property so we can improve that bus stop. That will be the first one that we'll be able to improve, and it will be a covered bus stop with ADA compliance and landscape around.
If you would, I'd like to think about it. I've heard about it. Steve and I are talking, you know, what's that gonna do to the front of our operation? And at this time, I just can't answer that question.
Okay.
Because it's dead center.
Yeah,
Any other questions?
That's it.
No question.
thank you all.
So we have a motion and a second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? I'll abstain. All right, Madison, we've tabled number 6, so it'll be number 7.
C-PUD-184-2025 SC, the application of Jonathan Ratliff Railing Associates for Steve Barish, requesting approval of a planned unit development being 1.164 acres, more or less located west of Barksdale Boulevard and north of Heritage Missionary Baptist Church for proposed office warehouses, Bossier City, Louisiana, City Council District 1, Police Jury District 12.
Thanks. Jonathan Ratliff, Rayleigh and Associates, 4913 Shed Road, Bossier City, Louisiana. Ms. Wallace, you want me to go ahead and bring it in?
I want to interject just for a minute.
Absolutely.
We did,
Yes, sir.
On the number 6, there may be somebody here for that. Are y'all here for that case, perchance? You're good? We just kind of jumped without asking any public comment on that.
Okay.
And so I was just making sure that we pick that up later on.
Yeah,
Sorry
no
to-
problem.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, absolutely, no problem. So my developer is looking at doing an affordable, pre-engineered metal building shape, full architectural brick all the way up. He's looking to create some office storage space affordable for entrepreneurs in South Bossier. And these have been well received. He's excited about it. From everything that I know, we've met all of your landscaping requirements. I've got the dumpster in the front so that everything in the back, all of those residential neighbors don't get bothered by trash trucks whenever they come. We have put low wattage wall pack lights in the front. We're willing to negotiate anything on the wall pack lights. The last thing we want to do is interfere with light pollution in the back. And I'll also just note, we should have plenty of parking spots, 32 parking spots. I put more trees in there because landscaping is beautiful. We have a common drive access for Jay Kowalski when he sells the other piece of property, if he chooses to do so, to keep that easy for Jim Ollier and DOTD, one driveway to worry about. And then we have screening trees in the back, and we will be replacing the fence for one of those properties that does not have a fence back there. So the only thing we ask is that we would be allowed to do the fence as a in-kind fence with everybody else. I know that there has been some talk about 8 feet versus 6 feet. I think everything over there is 6 feet. I don't, it could look kind of weird if it was 8 feet, but obviously, if y'all want 8 feet, we'll put an 8 foot fence up, so.
There's not much of a fence though that you have to put in, it's just a small portion.
Yeah, it's like 60 feet of fence, yeah. We just didn't want to put an 8-foot fence for 60 feet, and then everybody else has a 6-foot fence, and it just kind of stick out like a sore thumb. But, you know, if that's something that y'all would like, I mean, you know, we're not going to worry about 2 feet of fence.
Jonathan, describe the site lighting one more time.
So we just have standard 60-watt wall packs.
Wall packs.
A lot of them come with variable LED wattage now anyway. So if it was something that was too bright, you could turn it down. We're planning to mount them at 11 feet, so you'd only have about 22 feet of radius. So it wouldn't even go to the parking spots. Really just enough to light up that front door when people come out so that, you know, it's the safety aspect, but not so much, not like a Walmart overhead giant pole light that illuminates, you know, all the way to Shreveport. So
What's
Gotta
the
be
height,
dusk-
what's the
I'm
height
sorry.
of that wall pack?
what was that, Art?
What's the height of the wall pack?
11 feet.
11 feet.
Dusk to dawn, I guess, on them, or switch?
I would anticipate a switch, so probably 6 o'clock, somewhere around there, but.
He covered a lot of ground, huh?
Yeah.
I tried to make the site plan easy, you know, I put everything y'all want on there in the front, so.
Yeah, they don't have any questions for you, Jonathan.
Wonderful, that's what I love to hear.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Carlotta, I will say, I know, just a note on here, we did have a sign but we are not gonna put that sign there. So he's not gonna put a sign, so nothing to worry about there. I know that you're gonna be asked about signage easements, so maybe in the future, at the front of that common access where both parties can share one unified sign, but that's a later problem.
All right, and just one other comment. I know you stated that you plan to just infill on that one lot that doesn't have a fence. Has that been discussed with the property owner?
It has not been discussed with the property owner, but I know that since the UDC requires screening and all that stuff, that we were already planning on building that fence for them at our cost. So we haven't discussed that with them yet, but I don't imagine anybody would hate on a free
Okay.
fence. but-
Just for so that I understand, does that 60-foot fence go on his property?
Technically, it can go anywhere. It's supposed to go on their property, and that's what's one of the comments that the staff would have, because we have a lot of natural disasters where fences go down, and then it's going to be whose responsibility is it to replace that fence? Is it the homeowners, or would it be the commercial operator? But I just wanted to clarify that they're always responsible to have a fence up, regardless of what happens on the residential site.
I would, for that, I would say our anticipation would be to put it on their property. We'll pay to put it up. But if you look at the way the property lines shake out, if we were to build it on our side, it wouldn't do anything. It would just be a random screening fence in a ditch. So it'd be better, because it looks like from the way we surveyed it, there is an offset before you get to some of their fences, so.
But I guess from an enforcement standpoint, and I'll just state it again, so if somebody's missing pickets, it becomes an enforcement issue as to who do I go after? Do I go after the property owner, or do I go after the commercial business that's required to have the fence? That's the issue we're gonna have at such time that something happens with the fence. They're always required to have a compatibility buffer, but if one of the residents decides that they don't want a fence, then
He's got to put it.
there you go. What do I do there? So,
If the owner is missing pickets, but what if the owner doesn't want to put?
there you
pickets?
go.
But-
That's the
but-
problem that I'm going to have. But what if he decides he wants to have chain link fence? They're still required to have the fence there. So it becomes an enforcement issue if they don't put up a fence.
So are you saying it's better for them to have it on their property?
It is better for them to
Because
have it
then
on
they
their
have all the
property.
control.
There you go.
Yeah, this situation's just weird because there is a pretty sizable ditch that runs on the back side of the property, so, you know, well, we can figure that out, Carlotta, figure out the best way to do that, but just trying to make it contiguous for everybody,
We
all the way
I
across.
absolutely
Oh, yeah.
understand
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yes.
We have any other questions, comments? No questions. Open it up to the public for any questions or comments. If you'll just come forward and state your name and address and sign in for us.
Good. My name is Ernie Negretti. I live at 6313 Annandale. And my question was, is this going to be, the lighting, is that going to be a 24/7 lighting back there?
Lighting?
The lighting on the building itself?
No, sir. He said that, yeah, you can comment.
Yeah, so the lighting for us, no lighting on the side here, just so you can see. This is all it'll go out to, about 22 feet. So it won't come anywhere close to any residence. These are gonna be really low wattage LEDs, so.
See, my main question is that backs up right to my property. And since their property abuts our fence, and then the lighting or your concrete for the driveway comes within 25 feet of our fence, correct?
Yeah, the concrete will be 25 feet, the building will be more than 25 feet. So
I understand
yeah.
that, right?
Mhm.
So you're gonna be crossing the ditch?
No, we're not crossing any ditch.
And Jonathan, are there any pole lights or is
Nope.
all the?
Okay, that's my concern. There's no pole lights
No,
gonna be
no,
up
absolutely
there
not.
facing,
No, we don't
couldn't
want
be
any-
facing out anyway,
Yeah, we don't
Barksdale.
want, we don't want any lights going to the left, we don't want anything going to the right. This is just for, basically to illuminate the door, so that
Okay.
people can get out of
I
there.
believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that all the lighting is like under the canopy or over the doors.
Yeah.
It's not any pole lighting in the parking lot.
You have it under a canopy.
Yeah, there, so,
I saw the one for the entrance
Absolutely. So
That's the
they're-
only lighting you have is under the
Right,
entrance?
yeah, it's just gonna be right here for the wall pack lights, just so that they can illuminate the door.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Another concern was the size of the calipers on those 6 trees that you have, I think along the backside that actually come right to our property there.
Yeah.
It's only a 3-inch calipers?
Those are what, by the UDC
hollies.
requirements. Those are gonna be your 10 to 12-foot height screening either evergreen trees or hollies, some of that species. So that's by the UDC.
Okay.
Yeah,
now-
that wasn't my choice. That was,
Okay. Now,
you get mad at myself for that.
since we're gonna add, since you're gonna add all this concrete, and you have a detention swell, not a pond there,
It's 3.5 feet. It's pretty significant, yeah.
it's at 3.5 feet deep?
Yeah.
Okay, and it
Yeah.
has a detention on the end
It
of the
does.
pipe?
Yeah, I have more
Overflow
detention than
pipe.
is required. Yeah.
Overflow pipe?
Yes, absolutely. Mhm.
My question is, once again, that ditch does not belong to, I understand, nobody, neither parish, city, nobody owns that ditch, the big ditch, that starts or ends, or starts at the, let's say, the northern end of the property from River Bend south to the other exit end, which is Parish. I think Parish owns up to the, on the north side, skips the Annandale section, and then picks up again on the southern end of the Annandale subdivision. And my question is, who's gonna be responsible for the growth, since the property owners are responsible for the growth of that large ditch? That's your property also,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, my owner will take care of anything within his property, absolutely.
Okay, now, that don't answer the question. The question is, since his property owner would take care of the ditch, the other businesses along that, I think you have a,
It's church, right?
you have a church, and then I think you have another business further up.
That I'm sure about.
Yeah. Nobody takes care of those. When we bought this piece of property and this home and everything, we had to chase off rodents and all kinds of different animals just to cut the grass in the backyard. Now, is it feasible, and I don't know if it falls in your jurisdiction to bring it up, somebody's got to incorporate that whole ditch, and it's a puzzlement to me why it was skipped. That section was skipped, but the parish owns top and bottom, but not in between. Can anybody answer that question, why, or could we get some remedies to it, or some answers?
Issue.
It would sound like it, but I don't,
You know,
that's really
I
not in
don't
our
think from-
circle.
I mean,
I
'cause now-
understand your concern.
I realize probably not your concern, but it'd be, is it somewhere that maybe you could suggest or ask about it? Because if something
That's what I
floods,
think,
who am I gonna
the
hold
police
responsible?
Right, I understand.
This property owner? Somebody else property owner don't take care of the
I think
grass?
Mr. Fine has an answer for you.
I think that seems to me that needs to be addressed at the police jury.
Police jury?
Yes, sir.
If we could get your information, sir, I would like to bring this up to our engineering department, your comments today. So if I could get your information, I would like to bring that up to them so that we can figure out what needs to happen there.
Yeah, because the way I looked it up and everything else, and nobody owns that. And it's a puzzlement to me why nobody took that up. I don't,
Somebody else.
Yeah, somebody owns it.
I mean,
It's somebody's responsibility.
I mean, yeah, the levy board or the parish or.
Somebody,
The
yeah.
levy board, no, you know, or the city, nobody claims it.
Right.
No.
But
And it may be
It
a
might be a
home,
private
maybe a
owner.
homeowner.
So that's what
I
I'm
mean,
concerned with, and
property
we're
owner
adding more
responsibility.
water, become a watershed with all the concrete that's gonna be poured over here. And we got a detention pond or detention swell that's holding water and releasing water. I think, hopefully everybody sees my point, my worry about getting flooded out there if we have a huge storm or something.
Jonathan, in your survey, did you
valid.
show that drainage area is not in any sort of public easement?
So in
No.
our survey, I didn't pick that up in this, but I have studied this channel, not just for this, but for the preserve. So a couple points I can make on that. We do have a detention pond. We have a compensatory cut that is more than what we're taking up with the concrete space. We're reducing overall flow by a couple of cubic feet per second coming out of there. So we have done everything in our ability to reduce any impact, reduce or make better the impact we have on that channel. I know that this little area can be a little fickle. It kind of doglegs around and goes through some subdivision culverts and things like that. So I'm well aware of it. But again, we have taken more dirt out of our site than what we're putting on there.
Oh,
So,
I'm comfortable with
Yeah,
what you're.
yeah, so
Yeah.
to that point.
I didn't know
yeah,
if you
absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't know if you
I
stumbled
did
across
not
something
pull up-
else.
We did not, no.
Okay.
We surveyed the property line, but I didn't go through like full Altos to
Right,
see every little
right.
easement that was in there. We have the utility easements in the front. I didn't see anything, so, but there's gotta be a maintenance.
Yeah, somebody
Some sort
owns
of
it.
maintenance easement for that. It's a studied channel, like somebody's supposed to maintain it.
Okay.
Do they maintain it?
Yeah.
No, that's a tale as old as
Somebody gotta
time,
maintain it. So, I mean, if it grows again, if it goes up 12 inches, do we call code enforcement to come out and
Well,
tell somebody you need to cut this grass or
Yeah, I
dig
think
the
some of that
ditches
may be
out or
Public Works.
what but they don't own it. That's the problem.
Somebody can have access to clean it, even if they don't own it. There's gotta be some sort of maintenance agreement or easement in
Yeah.
place on this. It's
So-
just, I think it's
So,
maybe a.
so I think,
Not that I've found with engineering so far.
I think, Carlotta, Miss Carlotta, you're going to look into this, right?
Yes.
We're gonna, yeah,
I
we're
think
gonna
that's all we can
research
do
it.
for you today, really, is
Yeah.
get your information
Yeah.
and see if we can track it down
I'll
and,
put my address here.
Have to
and
research it.
figure that out. I wish we could give you a solution right now, but I don't think there is one.
Not
Not in this
not a
room.
fast one, let's put it
Yeah,
that
not in
way.
this room.
Yeah. Okay.
All righty. I think that's all I'm concerned with right now, I can think of. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, we understand your concern.
All right.
We got one more question.
One more, okay. If you'll just state your name and address and sign in for me. please.
Judy Negrati, 6313 Annandale Drive, Bossier City. He missed two things.
Okay.
The trees in the back, according to his plans, he plans to put 3 caliber crepe myrtles. And my question is a crepe myrtle is not a really good buffer, if you stop and think about it. And our fence is only 6 feet high. So if he could put something more substantial, either up close to his property or back to our fence, one of the two. But but like I say, a 3-inch caliber crepe myrtle is a decorative thing. It's not a sound barrier or a buffer. And let's see, let me think what else. About the lights, it shows it was 11 feet high. Is there any way that it could go like to the door? Instead of putting it up so high on the building, is to bring those lights down to where they would be more in line with a 7-foot door, 8-foot entrance door, if that's what he's trying to do. Unless he's trying to light the entire parking lot going that way. I don't know how many feet that is.
I don't think, I
No,
don't believe
he's
it's
not lighting
lighting
the whole
the
parking
parking
lot.
lot, it's just lighting the.
It's just a small
sidewalk.
semicircle area right in front of the door. So it's not going beyond that, the light's not going beyond that level.
To
There was
give
a
you a dimension,
lighting-
it'd almost be from where we're sitting to those chairs.
Okay, it didn't say specific, it said the lumens were variable, although a 60
Page
watt, I
20.
understand, is not very much wattage.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where the light will go. That's the whole radius of the light. That's at 11 feet, by the way, so.
Okay,
Yeah, so we're just a little, so people don't trip when they're coming out of the doors and stuff like that.
okay,
That's all
because
it
I was thinking if it's up at 11, the lumens would go out
Absolutely.
further.
Oh, absolutely.
But I did notice it was 60 watts, so I knew it wasn't like a tremendous amount,
No.
you know?
And these are evergreens, by the way. These are not crepe myrtles.
Okay.
Yeah, they're 10 to 12 feet evergreens.
Okay.
So they won't lose their leaves, they'll
What about the
stay.
branch? When you put them up, they're gonna be that tall, but
Yeah.
what's gonna be the width on them? And how many, you're only gonna put 6, right?
Yeah, we're putting the required amount by the UDC to put in there. My property owner will be taking care of his trees on his property, so. But we actually talked about that this morning. I was like, we can't have tree limbs growing up into people's yards. So,
Well, it's not so much that, as I would like a more of a canopy type thing, rather than just, the crepe myrtle or even like a holly. Use something with thicker limbs.
yeah, we're willing to be negotiable on any tree species. Yeah, if you have a request, I would ask that you give that to Carlotta, and then we can run it through the
Okay,
channel, so.
there is a shrub. I mean, what was that shrub? Do you remember? I'll get with her about it. There's a
Absolutely,
shrub
yeah.
that you can put in that grows faster and it's thicker and you can't see through it.
Yes, ma'am, that's great.
And that itself would, block the traffic.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
I think that's it, y'all.
Ma'am, can you sign in, please?
I need to sign?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. I don't believe any more public comment.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
Burning tree, burning.
Let her know that.
Okay.
She'll get it back.
No further
Your
questions.
motion?
So just for clarity, the owner is agreeable or amenable to changing the type of tree?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It still has to be an evergreen, and it still has to be 10 to 12 feet tall, but,
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
within reason. I mean, if it's a, a $9,000 African
so
mahogany,
that's what we have. We're,
amenable to that.
I need clarity
Something
on
normal.
that.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can't leave that open, so
Yeah,
I
we want
need,
something that'll grow here too. So if it is a tree that's like non-native, won't grow very well, I don't know if that'd be great for
No.
everybody,
No.
but.
Is that something you review at permit, or will you review?
I'm just saying, I will review anything, but if he's not agreeable to the type of tree that she's
Yeah.
stating, we'll be back here in a month.
I think it's negotiation. I don't know
I
what type of
understand
tree
that.
it is.
That's what I'm
So,
saying.
yeah, I mean,
If
I
you're-
can't outright blanket for my developer that I'm agreeing to a tree today, but if we can
Understandable.
come to a
I don't know if we should put it in the
We should
motion.
just stick with what's in the
Yeah.
ordinance, and Carlotta,
Yeah.
It's more
You
like
can
a, it's
change.
more like a bush, more like a barrier type of tree. It's not, nothing specifically, but
it at Hoogland's?
That's not anything we require.
Okay.
but I don't know. if you can get them there,
Sounds,
you
excuse me,
probably
it
can.
sounds to me
It's
like
more
you're
of a
talking about a red bud.
Barrier type
Even
bush.
require those.
Even a tree like
Red
us,
bud.
We just want to make sure it falls within
They
the
grow
area.
fast,
stays
That would be
evergreen,
the
get
big
big.
sticker.
Yeah,
it doesn't
I
get
know what you don't want.
gigantically tall, but it stays
Yeah.
thick.
You don't want that barb pear trees. That's-
We've got those throughout our neighborhood.
I have a motion. Second.
but they just have to be, the owner has to
And
be
it's fast
amenable
growing, so.
to changing that.
So right now, we're just approving what's in the ordinance, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay.
But I do need a resolution on the fence again. If somebody takes their fence down, what do I do? The enforcement side is what I'm concerned about.
Okay. Even if
There is one property owner that doesn't have a fence there, that they're going to discuss with putting up a fence, but what if they're not agreeable to putting it up? And/or what if somebody fence goes down, who's responsible for putting it back up? It's just not very clear.
The simplest would be to make this applicant responsible for any fencing.
I thought he
If they have
just
to
said
put a
they do all
second
the
fence
fence.
up there in front of another fence.
Well,
Say it again,
Did
I'm
he
sorry.
not? No?
Yeah, I think there's just a question about where to put the fence and if it was on his property, he would have complete control, but if you're putting the fence on the homeowner's property in the back, they don't have control over the damage.
so, Ms. Carlotta, if a property owner decided to take their fence down, you want to make sure that this gentleman understands his client's business is responsible for a fence. So if a fence comes
Correct.
down,
Yeah,
Your
it's,
client has to put it-
Dave, I hear you. Yeah, it's just a tough one, because if we put a fence on our property line, then you're just gonna have a segment of fence and it's gonna stop. And I see what you're saying, Carlotta, I completely agree with you. I think in terms of what is the neighborhood right there, I feel like it would almost be more of a sore thumb that we've got this random segment fence, like an oil pad site, and then we pick up a fence again. So, I mean,
Well, say that let's think ahead a little bit. Another business comes in next door at some point. what is going, and what's gonna be the,
They're gonna be required to put up a fence.
right behind their, on their property line,
on their
right behind?
property. It doesn't have to be on the property line, it can be within that 25-foot buffer, as long as they meet the requirements.
Yeah, I don't know, that's.
Jeff, let's say this. Let's say one of the property owners' fence is so dilapidated, they just take their fence down.
There you go.
This gentleman's client is responsible to have a fence up per the UDC.
They are, but what if the homeowner doesn't want a fence? I deal with this every day.
But let me ask
And
you
if
this,
we
if he
do-
puts his fence on his property line, then it doesn't matter what they want.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Which, I mean, that's gonna end up being the case here, is that I'm gonna end
Yeah.
up putting it on my fence, because I don't wanna take future liability
I would recommend
for
that.
So
somebody
by
else, but
going by our code, our ordinance and all that, he's required to put a fence up on his property line. And so if we pass it like that, then he is required to put a fence up on his property line.
Yes, sir.
It's done then.
I
Is that
just-
correct?
I think
I
so.
think that's pretty
Yeah.
simple there.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
I
just
think trying
want,
to do all this other, we're getting complicated, but if he says he's gonna put his fence up on his property line, then,
And that makes it consistent for
yeah,
any
it makes it
future
consistent and look
development.
good for everybody.
let me throw one final wrench in here. We were gonna put that owner's fence up for them, but our property line extends beyond into another person. So Carlotta, by that, are you saying I've gotta now put a fence along that entire property line on the back?
It doesn't have to be, I'm saying it doesn't have to be on the property line. It just has to be within that 25-foot compatibility
to
buffer.
Yeah, but I'm saying the total
It has to
length.
cover
We
the
were talking,
entire
yeah, we were
lot.
talking about 60 feet, now
Yes.
we're talking about 178
Yes, but
feet.
that's always been the obligation.
Okay.
Solves a lot of issues if we just.
Yeah, it just quickly,
So it's kinda
quickly went from an act of generosity to, now,
Can of worms.
now
It's-
impeding a ditch. And that's what I worry about. I don't worry about the fence. I worry about the fact that we've got a ditch and residents that live right there. And if we set a precedent along this ditch that I've got to put a fence in that ditch line,
Yeah.
that's a problem hydraulically
Yes.
for the people that live there.
Yeah.
And so this being in a flood zone area, I worry about the idea that we're agreeing to the UDC here outright. I understand we have to follow the guidelines, of which we've tried to do here, but it's one of those like caveat situations where I also don't want to make it worse for the residents that live right there too. Yeah,
No, I wouldn't think in the ditch, but on the, upside of the ditch toward the majority of your property.
that's the problem. That's where our property line, when we had it surveyed, that high bank of that ditch extends beyond our property line. So if we run it right along our property line, we're gonna be halfway on the high bank, halfway in the slope of that ditch.
We can move it up and have a fence and not be
We
in
can
the
move it closer
ditch.
to your building.
Yeah, what about right next to the concrete, to the parking in the building?
We could do that. It's just then run into the same situation with the evergreens right there. We're amenable to whatever, this body finds to be helpful to everybody. But, we don't mind putting a fence right there. I mean, we're gonna have concrete there. But, in terms of now, we're talking ditch maintenance too. So
Yeah.
we've got a full screening fence up along our concrete. How is my property owner now gonna get back there without having some crazy gate?
I don't care for that, because then these people are gonna lose sight of the ditch and affect these other people.
Yeah.
I think that's opening up a
Yeah.
can of worms.
Yeah, I work for my developer. I want to keep these people safe too. So that's the most important
And
thing
at
here.
the same
is-
time, we want to be able to enforce the regulations and protect the people that live back there.
Yeah, this is a,
I
yeah.
don't know the answer to that right now.
The purpose of the fence is to attempt to abate the nuisance of noise, light, any other pollution that may happen. That is the purpose of the fence. That's it. To try to establish some sort of compatibility between the neighborhood that's existing, that is there, that has issues and concerns about light and other nuisance issues, and the new business that's coming in that we want to welcome to our community, of course, but we have to find a happy medium there.
Why don't we just require it to be on the applicant's side of the high bank of the ditch?
I believe that's fair.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Do you have enough room to run it along that ditch on your side of the ditch?
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, we can run it. We just also, like I said, we wanted to be able to take care of our trees and stuff over there too. And if we run a
Put a gate.
8-foot screening fence all the way across that concrete line, that's fine. But then it's a nuisance on our side to help maintain the ditch, which we also want to do. And so that was my only caveat on that. I don't mind putting the fence there at all. No, absolutely. Yeah, we wanted to help the neighbor and build them a fence, but now they're not gonna get a fence. We're gonna build our fence on our side, and we're gonna screen our stuff,
That's what,
and they're not gonna have their fence,
Well,
so.
that's their business.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
want a
yeah,
fence,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, yeah, 100% get it, yeah.
Carlotta, so we're talking about a fence, then the ditch, and then the other folks' fence? Now I'm concerned about kids getting in between there and no one can see what kids are doing.
Go ahead, Mr. Estes.
It'll be fine, put a 6-foot fence up along that thing and we'll fix them if they go down. And
Yeah.
It's his responsibility.
That seems to be the best play here.
Making this more difficult than it needs to be.
Yeah, yeah, I think we're getting into dangerous territory here
Yeah,
of,
and
Down
it
in
gets
the
that
ditch.
way
Yeah.
with the enforcement portion of it, because, yeah, if a fence goes down, then who do I go after if it
hey,
goes
we'll
down?
run to Lowe's and we'll
Here.
grab some
Yeah.
tickets.
I've got a question. I think we're making this more difficult than
Yeah.
it needs to be.
I agree.
Build a fence on your side of the property, not in the ditch along your side, and then you're responsible for maintaining it. And I think that answers everybody's questions.
I agree.
Well, and it would be helpful, once we figure out what's going on with the ditch and who needs to maintain it if there are
Well, if
no
it's on his
encroachments.
property, he's got to
Yeah.
maintain it.
Yeah, if there are no encroachments, that helps.
And if you need a gate in it
This
to be
thing's
able to
got
get through
totally
it to
out of
mow
control.
on the other side to your property line, then that would be.
Yeah, we'll just run it on
we
our
want that
property
too.
line.
Yep.
Yep, no problem. It'll just be kind of a weird situation, but that's cool.
Have a motion?
Make a motion that we accept C PUD 184, 2025 SC.
I'll second
You want
that.
to add the part about the fence?
I don't think we need to.
I don't think I need to.
I think the
you
code
do just
speaks
like
for
it is,
itself.
Jim. Like you said,
I'll
making
second
it
it.
complicated.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
we
made
got
it
a
too
motion, a
complicated.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone like to abstain? Motion carries. Okay. Madison, it looks like we have one preliminary hearing.
P-ZON-180-2025, the application of Chris Myers, Coal Engineering for John Weiss II, requesting a zoning amendment to change the zoning classification of a certain tract of land being 9.598 acres more or less from R-A residential agriculture to B-3 general business located in section 25, township 19 north, range 13 west, Bossier City, Louisiana, for an office, warehouse, and retail space, Police Jury District 5.
Charlie Coyle with Coyle Engineering to answer any questions you may have.
No questions.
No,
Nobody? Okay. All
this is
right.
just zoning.
Just zoning?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Have a motion.
Make a motion that we move P-Zone 180-2025 to a public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone like to abstain? All right. I need to get an approval. Thank you so
Thank you,
much. The
Charlie.
motion carries, I'm sorry. I need to get an approval for the November the 10th, 2025 minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
You need a
I'm
voice
sorry.
vote.
Yeah, all in favor? Yeah. Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to old and new business.
All right, we need a motion and a second to approve the 2026 meeting dates. I will like to state that for the first half of the year, the city council chambers will be under construction, and we will meet in the courtroom in Bossier City. But it also requires us to move our meetings to a Thursday. So the first half of the year, the meetings are set for a Thursday.
Question.
Yes.
Normally when court is in session, we cannot bring our phones in. But
Correct.
when MPC is using it, can we bring?
We
our
can
phones?
bring our phones in. No court will be taking place on
That's
those
important.
days. Yes,
That's a
sir.
good question, though, Art. What do you think of that?
Okay.
Have a motion?
I'd make a motion that we approve the 2026 MPC meeting dates.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone like to abstain? Motion carries.
All right, we need to appoint a chairman for 2026.
Volunteers?
Don't all speak at once.
So, for the chairman,
Yes.
make a motion that we, I'd like to nominate Jeff Thigpen.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did you abstain?
I'm not voting on that one.
And we need a vice, right?
Mhm.
I recommend we appoint Chris Turner as vice chairman for 2026.
Excellent choice.
I
Second
second. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, congratulations. He gets a pay raise, everyone.
And the company car.
Jeff
Double your
Thigpen,
zero.
Chris Turner, congratulations, 2026 is your year. And next up on the agenda, we have Barksdale Redevelopment District Committee update. We met last month, and we discussed a couple of items regarding trees that were installed on Shady Grove that have arbitrarily been removed. And so, but because they were required to be installed, we have to reinstall them. So we're looking at arborists to figure out who we can use to get those reinstalled. But that's all that was discussed at the committee meeting, and we'll meet again in July of 2026.
And the new master plan contract you said is in the works?
Yes, we received a draft contract today. We will be reviewing that with our attorney, Neil Irwin, with the city, Bossier City, and the Bossier Parish Police Jury, so that we can possibly kickstart that review in February.
Cool.
All right, that's all I have, Chairman.
Everything? Okay. Then I guess we will adjourn at 3:02.
Oh,
Right.
Ms.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, after we adjourn? Okay. Adjourned.
Did y'all want to trust but verify in terms of Bill Sales' statement that he was going to remove that provision that allowed the erasure of the servitude? I just thought y'all might want to have a trust but verify through the staff to say, well, you've got to see
It's a
that.
good idea.
You're correct.
I didn't want to get in your business, but it
But you
just.
should
Yeah,
have.
didn't want that to go forward to the city council until that document. Of course, I wanted the document filed, but it can't be filed until after it's sold.
Well, we can require that he have that documentation before we sign off on the plat.
Okay,
We can do that.
yeah.
Thank y'all for letting me raise that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but you mentioned that before, that trust and verify, and you're right, that would have been the right move.
Okay, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
we did it a few times in the last 25
Yeah.
years. We needed a trust